Hello, what's that college football guy here with another video. Happy really early morning. Yeah, it's been a long week. I need to get a haircut soon. We'll see how that happens here based on how busy this weekend's going to be. As I possibly maybe running all weekend, which means I may be doing games from the truck, videos from the truck about the games. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that doesn't, but it's a possibility. Um, First off, everybody, thanks everybody for watching the video. As always, please give me the thumbs up. It helps the analytics, helps the video to be seen. Comment on the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. We're getting our way to 200 subscribers. Let's see if we can get there. We got review show this week today for the two games that happened yesterday and the three that will be happening today, including a ranked matchup between top 25 team between number 23 Oregon State traveling to Washington. So first, let's get into the two. By the way, it looks really early in the morning. Yeah, it's about 5:30 in the morning here. I got a long one going. Alrighty. First off, let's go to the Rice UTEP game, which was I had UTEP winning it, but Rice pulled it out 37-30. Let's get into some of the statistics about that game. We're talking about UTEP. The story of their game really was the fact that their starting quarterback, Gavin Hardiston, went out in the third quarter with an ankle injury, so they had to bring in the backup, Calvin Brownholtz. We have a QB controversy brewing there in UTEP. You'll get what I mean here in a second. Gavin Hardison was 8 of 18, 103 yards, 1 touchdown, no INTs, 43.5 QBR. Calvin Brownholtz was 7 for 10, 56 yards, no touchdowns, no INTs, 92.6 QBR. Team rushing was 36 carries, 154 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It was by committee. But Calvin Brownholtz, the backup quarterback, 8 carries, 64 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Run it and pass it. Do we have a QB controversy brewing? Team defense for UTEP, 2 sacks, 1 QB hurry, 1 INT, and no fumble recovery. So they only got 1 turnover forced. But Rice, their starting quarterback, TJ McMahon, went 21 of 31 for 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an INT, a 61 QBR. Not bad. And then you get his primary receiver, Bradley Rosner. Had to get that name right. 6 receptions for 142 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown was the 23-yard catch he made with 25 seconds left for the go-ahead score. Came through when they needed him. Team rushing, 32 carries for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. Running back by committee. Team defense, 1 sack, 5 QB hurries. No INTs, no fumble recoveries. So it was the passing game succeeded and the rushing game succeeded. So it's interesting here. I looked at this and I was going through the score. There was a backup QB that made some moves and other things. But Rice got the score done with their kickers. Did a lot of scoring for him. He had 3 field goals. That's where I was thinking the other game about the backup QB, but 3 field goals are from the kicker. That's where they got the other points from for Rice. So that's in that one. So congratulations to Rice for beating UTEP. That gives them a solid win of the season. Now, the game of games yesterday, Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State. I called this one at the beginning of the season. I called yesterday for Coastal Carolina, and they came through. 35-28, Coastal Carolina wins, but the score does not indicate the game because 13-10 left in the fourth. It was 35-14 Coastal Carolina, and Appalachian State got 2 scores in the fourth to try to make it close, but it really wasn't close. For App State, Chase Bryce was 19 of 28, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an INT. It's a 47.5 QBR. Team rushing, 27 carries for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing was not getting it done. Team defense, 2 sacks, 2 QB hurries, no INTs, but they did get a fumble recovery. Now you look at Coastal Carolina. Well, 2 QBs, there's 2 quarterbacks that made a play. Grayson McCall, I brought him up for his 19 touchdowns and 1 INT. Well, now he's added to that. He's 18 of 26 for 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INT. So it's 21-1 now. Sheesh. 79.7 QBR. Bryce Carpenter, the halfback, came in and did a halfback pass, 1 for 1, 31 yards for a touchdown. Like, not bad. The halfback pass comes in for offense. Team rushing, 45 carries for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns. We might have a running back controversy in Coastal Carolina. Your primary running back was C.J. Beasley, 13 carries, 28 yards, no touchdowns. Jared Brown, the freshman, came in, the change of pace guy. 3 carries, 84 yards, and 1 touchdown. Maybe the freshman needs to start playing more. Team defense, 2 sacks, 3 QB hurries, 1 INT, and 1 fumble recovery. Not bad. Got the game done. Did what they had to do. Congratulations to Coastal Carolina. They got the win and took care of business. Now we have 3 games on the schedule today. 3. 2 independents actually going head-to-head here. We've got 1-7 UMass traveling to face 4-5 UConn. UMass is known as being one of the, well, maybe the worst team in FBS. Would that be fair? It's not a surprise. UConn's a 15.5-point favorite at home. And you hear the UMass's stats here. Move my arms. It's getting a little sore. Fell asleep on my shoulder earlier, so it's kind of bad, folks. But UMass offensively, they are dead last in scoring, 12.1 points per game. That is not going to get it done. They are dead last in passing yards at 78.8 passing per game, but they're 57th in rushing, 166.3. Well, you know they're rushing teams. They can't pass for the darn. They are 103rd in scoring defense at 30.9, so you score 12 and give up 31, and they wonder why they're 1-7. 37th in pass defense at 205.4 yards per game, 100th in rush defense at 173.6. So you can defend the pass pretty well, but you can't defend the run worth a darn. You can't pass the ball worth a darn, but you run real well. Total opposites. UConn offensively, they're 121st in scoring at 17.6, which is bad, but they're still 5 points better than UMass. 127th in pass offense, 110.9 yards per game. 46th in rushing at 178 yards per game. So they're better at passing and better at rushing and better at scoring. Defensively, they're 68th in scoring defense at 26.2 points per game, but that's kind of misleading because of their early games, because in their last 4 games, UConn's allowed 54 points total in 4 games. That's locking it down on scoring. They are 83rd in pass defense at 240.8 yards per game, and they're 71st in rush defense at 142.1. So you have a good rushing offense against a mediocre rush defense. And you have a great rushing offense against their bad rush defense. This is going to be an interesting game, but UConn just doesn't allow teams to score. UMass allows everyone to score. I'm going to go with UConn, even though they're up 15.5-point spread. I'm taking them. That's it. I don't know if they're going to cover that, but I'm picking UConn. That'll give them their 5th win in the year. They're getting up to being bowl eligible, folks. Now we got an ACC matchup today. We got 5-3 Duke at 2-6 Boston College. Duke is a 9.5-point road favorite. Duke is going to win this game. And remember, Duke was a top 25 borderline for a little bit there, wasn't he? They're 32nd in scoring at 34.4 points per game. They're 94th in pass offense at 217 yards per game, but they're 21st in rushing at 205. So they're definitely a rushing team. They're 40th in scoring defense at 22.1. So you score 34, give up 21. That's good. 105th in pass defense at 262.9. 51st in rush defense at 129.9, so not bad rushing-wise. Pass-wise, definitely not. Boston College. You ready? 2-6 Boston College is 122nd in scoring at 17.2 points per game. They're 65th in passing at 242 yards per game. They're 130th in rushing at 69.4. So you're going to have the Boston College 65th ranked pass offense against the 105th ranked pass defense. That's Duke's weakness, is Boston College's strength. On the other side of the ball, they're 83rd in scoring defense at 28.8 per game, so you score 17 and give up almost 29. You're 59th in pass defense at 225. You're 68th in rush defense at 142.3. So your weakness is Duke's strength. Strength on strength in this game, so it's going to come down to the fact is that who's got the better who's got the better defense scoring wise. Duke's giving up 22. Boston College is giving up 28, and they're playing almost the same schedule. In fact, Duke played a couple tougher games. Now the fact that they played Kansas, they played top 25 teams. So even though Duke is on the road, and I'm going to pick Duke to beat Boston College, even though they're a 9.5 point favorite. I'm picking Duke. Point spread, they might cover. It all depends on how things go. Now, the evening game. By the way, I forgot to mention. Go back here. The UMass and UMass UConn game and the Duke Boston College game both are 7 p.m. Eastern kickoff. 10:30 Eastern kickoff. Number 23 Oregon State 6-2 at Washington 6-2. This is going to be an interesting game because for the first time in a long time, I think Oregon State's going to be out firepowered. Oregon State's 44th in scoring at 32.6 points per game, 76th in pass offense at 230.1, 30th in rushing at 195.8. They're 47th in scoring defense at 22.8, so you score about 33 and give up about 23, so that's not bad, 10-point margin. 67th in pass defense at 230.6, 31st in rush defense at 120.3. Good at rushing offense and defense and middle of the pack on both passing offense and defense. Washington is 10th in scoring at 40.4 points per game. They're the number one pass offense in the country at 379.2 yards per game. They're 96th in rushing at 128.5. So the number one pass offense is faking the 67th pass defense. Oh boy. They're 77th in scoring defense, average 27.6 allowed. 100th in pass defense at 256.6, but they're 21st in rush defense, 110.4. So Oregon State's strength on offense is Washington's strength on defense, and Washington's strength on offense is Oregon State's weakness on defense. And to make it matters worse for Oregon State, their starting quarterback Chance Nolan is questionable with a neck injury, so most likely Ben Gulberson, the redshirt sophomore, is going to get the start. With all that being considered, Washington's a 4.5-point favorite at home, and I'm going to pick Washington to pull up the top 25 upset to beat Oregon State because starting quarterback out, got to go with the back, strength on strength, and the number one pass offense against a middle-of-the-road pass defense. Oof, Michael Phoenix is going to have a ball with this one. So, or Penix, excuse me. That's how you say his name. My apologies if I say his name wrong, but tell me what you think down in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to win these 3 games? Like the late game, we won't be finding out till early tomorrow morning. At least I won't be. So, thanks everybody for watching the video. Please give me the thumbs up. Comment down below what you think about yesterday's games and the 3 predictions I made for today. Subscribe to the channel. See if we can hit 200. Thanks everybody for watching the video. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.